Well, a very special greetings to you and welcome to the Team Unity Dominica TUD Round the Table. It is the final Sunday program for 2022, and I'm happy to be presenting. Normally, Carlos present, and I appear as a guest. Today, I'm presenting, and Carlos appears as a guest. Carlos, as you know, would have contested the election for Team Unity in the Marigot constituency. He wasn't successful at the polls, but he led a very spirited effort. We will speak about that and to this program. He was elected the unity leader, still serves as our unity leader, and he is in the building process of the team. The team was presented or launched, the party was launched in August of 2022, which is August, September, October, November, under 4 months ago. And already, in less than 4 months, the team took part in a national election, filed 5 candidates, presented a manifesto, has been a steady fixture on social media and on the ground, is now a known entity around Dominica. Some people may beg to differ. They normally use the term impact, but we not where. What is impact? Impact is what it is. But the team is known by all and sundry. The team is the only party to have presented a manifesto, and the one of the youngest parties ever to take part in an election since its formation. So with these wonderful achievements, I'm more than happy to present this final program for 2022 and to introduce my brother and friend and co-founder, Carlos Chas, who will begin the program, first of all, by presenting the team's Christmas message. And I'm not sure whether any team has already done that as yet, but we are going to do it. And that's how we start our program today, with a message, the official Christmas message from our leader. And after that, we will get into some discussions and interactions with the audience. So, Brother Charles, it is nice to have you. Let me see if I can get you in. Hey, hi, good man.
Good morning, bro. Sorry, good afternoon, bro, and good afternoon. I suspect the football fever still on me.
Yeah, you seem to have followed the football very closely. In fact, as I said on my other program, you were the one who told me that Argentina did win, because I left my post to come set up for this one, and I had promised my fans that I would join after the game. But I relied on you, and it looked as if your information was credible.
Well, you see, I'm not a football fan per se. Anybody can tell you. When you talk about Carlos and sports, you will hear me talk about basketball. Back in the days of going to grammar school and Goodwill Primary School, I would be more involved in cricket and following the West Indies in the West Indies heyday when Brian Lara scored that 365 and the 401. I
Mhm.
on a Saturday, my mom would go to the laundry and in Pottersville, and back then Ted Daly used to live just not too far, Pottersville. I'll walk across and sit down with Ted and watch the cricket, myself and my brother Enrique. Those were good days, man. Those were good days.
Yeah,
But
but mhm.
before I go further, allow me to present Team Unity Dominica's Christmas message. Um, let me,
Eh,
if I haven't as yet, let me greet a special good afternoon to all our fans, friends, supporters, well wishers, those who have voted for us in the last elections, those who have not yet voted for us, but they will vote for us in the next opportunity that will be presented to them, and those who don't wish us well but will wish us well as time goes on.
yeah. Well, I wish I had Christmas songs to play for you, but I'm not going to play any song. I will take myself out of the screen and get back in after you're done. So as soon as I do so, you could begin your Christmas message, my dear friend.
Yes, a special good afternoon to everyone. Team Unity Dominica's Unity Leaders Christmas Message 2022. Christmas is a time for sharing love, and this Christmas season, Team Unity Dominica TUD offers you the best of what the season has to offer. We offer our love. This is our first Christmas together, a Christmas which follows from the December 6, 2022 general election. A special thank you goes out to those of you who voted for our candidates. We are aware that this might be a bittersweet occasion, but let us focus on the small things which really do make a difference. Let us take advantage of the opportunity to share love with our family, our loved ones, and our friends. Let us make time for the elderly, the sick, the shut-in, and those who are differently able. Let us make time to show them that we care. Let us resolve to work together in an effort to build a stronger and more united Dominican community in 2023. But let us first embrace the spirit of love, togetherness, forgiveness, newness, and cooperation. This Christmas season brings. We need to unite our best efforts as one Dominican people, and Christmas is a good time to rekindle this effort. Our wish is that you and your family find ways to embrace and make love the true essence of Christmas. There is simply no other way to build family, community, and nation than the united way. This is why we exist, to promote and work towards a united and progressive Dominica First agenda. The traditions of any nation help drive its future, so let us be the loving people we are. On behalf of my team, I wish you the very best and pray God's mercies upon you and your family and the wider Dominican community as we close out the year 2022. We can make 2023 a breakthrough year, but it begins with a concerted commitment to tolerance, respect, love, unity, and cooperation. Our movement was launched in August 2022, and we already indicated what our mission is: a mission progress driven by love, unity, and respectful engagement. TUD plans to be even more engaging in 2023, and we look forward to your warm welcome when we visit with you. Let us take the journey into the new year and era together. With these few words, I thank you, and this presents our Christmas message of 2022. Is Mr. Bruno back with us? Are you back? Are you back, Alex?
I didn't go anywhere, partner. I mean, you give me a crash course in controlling this thing, and I did. But Carlos, thank you. That was a really lovely message. I mean, and I just love the tone that we have taken as a team. This gentle, nice sort of middle of the road approach. It's the way to go. Some people um, do not buy into that, but I'm telling you, my dear brother, you continue this, you keep this up, the sky's the limit. So just continue working your craft, and delivering the goods. Little wins, little wins, little wins, and then the big win will come. So that was a fascinating message. And this message will be shared with the media, I would imagine, tomorrow. And we expect to see you looking as well as you look today, man, on one of the social media or traditional media pages with the Christmas message. Well done, Carlos. Very well done.
Thank you. And Brother Chris, I didn't say I'm not a football fan. I said I am as if you were looking for me in sports, you look for me in basketball. But doesn't mean that I don't like football. Football, I am I love basketball, but football I don't love it so much. I grew up in the era of having the Windsor Park with Sprite and them, those guys doing some deadly dunks inside Windsor Park. And I long for the day when when we get back basketball on the level that it was back in the day, when I would be on my way to school afternoon class and passing the Windsor Park for extra 5 minutes, and them guys they're playing already. Anyway, enough said.
So you defending that you love or you do not love sports?
No, 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 no. Chris, tell me, I, 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 how can I not be a football fan coming from Roseau? But, but Chris,
You're a football fan.
I not only from Roseau, Chris. I multi. I always say if somebody is have multiple skills, you see they're multi-talented. I always describe someone who's from multiple places. That's me.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you're a universal resident, a universal Dominican resident.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Leblanc was like that, EO Leblanc could have won an election anywhere in Dominica. Any village, any constituency, EO Leblanc. Maybe he alone. Because not anybody could say that they could win anywhere, no way. But Leblanc could have won anywhere he ran. That is the strength of this man. He's now resting in peace, watching us do our business, hoping that we put our act together and we deliver progress for our country. So that is that, Carlos. That was a speech. And as we do our final program for today, I wanted us to revisit how we got started, why we got started, where we are today. We'll get into the election, why we contested. We'll speak about the work that we did and the plan for the next year. That's pretty much it. I'll look back as we move forward. That's what this program is about. The last time we spoke, I was traveling and I didn't have the comfort that I wished, well, that I have now. So let's make this one count. We have at least Chris listening. Chris on. Chris is a member of the movement. So it's nice that Chris is here, and we hope that he has some questions, or he decides to come on camera too. I mean, if he's in a position where he can be on camera, by all means, Chris, jump in, man, and let's be part of the mix. All right. So Carlos, for people who may not be aware, our movement was introduced to the world, to Dominica in August. So we are August, September, we are under 4 months old. But we have already contested in a national election. And
that's very soon after formation.
Yeah, man. And we filled multiple candidates. And we had people voted for us. Carlos, that is so huge. People left their homes. No, no, no. People went to bed. No, 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 no. People listened to the election campaign. They heard the PM announce the date. They saw everything. They saw the big money. They saw the jump up, the intimidation, the people saying don't vote. They saw all of that. They saw the day of election came, the night before they went to sleep. They woke up that day of election because the election booth is not in their house, Carlos.
No.
It's miles away. Some people. They went, some people walked, some people drove, some people took a bus. They go to the booth, they got their ballots, all of that, And when they got to the place where they have to cast their votes, over 100 people casted their vote for TUD. Carlos, that is significant,
A party that was formed less than 4 months ago.
But election was almost, how long was election? Election was on the 6th, today is the 18th. Election was 2 weeks ago, almost, well, better part of a month ago, So we had less than two plus something months that we got into election, Carlos. We were able to get money. We got into election. And we had over 100 people committed enough to vote for us. My God, Carlos. Not to be grateful, not to rejoice about that would be so sad. And I hear one or two trying to twist it and say, oh, just 100. Well, and I always tell them, well, just 100, but how much did your party get? You were not brave enough to take a chance as we did to at least show your strength for your weakness. We went there and 100+ Dominicans, man, that's invaluable, decided to cast a vote for the fork for Team Unity Dominica. And we want to say thank you. That 100, Carlos, has the potential of multiplying by 10, by 20 in the next election, which is 5 years from now, if we do what is necessary. That is how you analyze your strengths and your contribution to politics, Carlos. And that's what we want to leave the year doing, thanking those people who made the effort against all odds to cast a vote for our team. Over 100 people, not 5 not, or 10 or 15, over 100. And we ran with little to no money. We had no meetings except in Laplin. We had 2 or 3 meetings in Laplin alone. Nowhere else we had a meeting or do any significant groundwork or house to house. We never had any giveaway, no handout, nothing. No flyers, no posters, nothing. But we did the important thing. We had a manifesto. The only party with a manifesto. A complete manifesto. The incumbent
are we going to go through that manifesto now?
Huh?
Are we going to go through that manifesto?
But if you can get it, we can do that, you know. Because I think you had it on your side. I can share the screen. I can allow you to share if you can get it. But there's a party that we ran against that was formed in 1955. They didn't have a manifesto, no, Carlos? And we had one. We invested in the manifesto. We didn't give money to drink, to give people to drink or nothing. We invested in the manifesto. We put it out there. Carlos, if you have it, please, we can share it and just show Dominicans briefly what our manifesto looked like. You see, that way you are really that way. A new era of politics in Dominica, Team Unity Dominica. One voice out of many, unity for progress. Our youth, our future. That's our front page. That's the manifesto. Me, Gladly, Carlos. No other political party in Dominica can show us any plan they had. And somebody going to tell us we were not ready? Maybe we were not ready as we would have liked to be, but we were ready. Second page of our manifesto. Green is the future. And we have agricultural products prominently displayed, showing where we intend to take the economy or what is going to drive Dominica's economy. Dominica's new economy planted in agriculture, Carlos.
The recommendation for moving Dominica forward. And of course, we welcome the use by the incumbents of our ideas, because we firmly believe that is the direction that Dominica should go.
Well, I heard the Prime Minister say on a program that I was on that he has a copy of our manifestos and he'll look at it and give some consideration to what we are our plans. And we are the only one with a plan. So why shouldn't he? We'll be happy if he does. I, of course, attended this forum as a professional representing our team as well. And oh gosh, some people think I shouldn't. How could you not engage with somebody you want to take out of office now? You get a chance to engage and you say no. You get a chance to contest and you say no. That's how you contest. We know we didn't stand a chance, but we were going to. We were brave enough to say we're going to fight for Dominica. Contrary to some who say we will not win, so we're not going. So our idea is the future of our economy, our new economy is planted. Look at the term we use in agriculture. Green is the future. Yes, we believe in tourism and all the other new forms of industries and so on. That will still continue to be. But the base of Dominica's economy has to be agriculture. And there you can see what we're talking about. Check, Carlos. That's the inside front cover of our manifesto. You can turn the page again, Carlos, because we cannot overemphasize what we say we're going to do. And look here, the reason why we contest, and all the reasons are placed there. I'm not even going to read them. And we have repeated those reasons. I can say publicly that we did a poll which suggested that Dominicans wasn't very keen on the election. They didn't like the way it was called. They had some issues with it. But there were some responses as well which suggested to us, although Dominicans feel that way, but there are enough people, more than 30-40% of the people respondents who believe that, yeah, we could contest. So we always go by what the people say, not what some people think. And we showed the poll, and in respect and response to what people said, we went to the polls, and we have no regrets doing so. We are happier that we did it than if we didn't do it. And on this third page, we give full breakdown of why we contest the election. Carlos, what you should do is reshare that post on our Facebook page after. I think you had shared it the last time. Reshare it and tag it at the top so people could go through our manifesto and see what we said. That's what we did as a team. The only team with a manifesto, Carlos.
I also cannot not give some credit to the independent candidates who as well had some ideas, and I know some of them had their individual manifestos. However, we welcome them to come on board, come work with us. We're not saying that we have all the ideas, but we believe that what we presented is an adequate roadmap. Let me say that properly, to prosperity for our country.
But of course, ideas were not invested in us alone. At least we present the framework for unity in politics. So the independents don't must come and just take it and run with it. No need to go and try to reinvent the wheel. You contested, we contested, we both were in it. Let's talk. Find a happy medium and move forward, because that's where Dominica is. Dominica don't want to go back, Dominica is on a new platform right now. I think those of us who contested now can have the conversation. And I think if the independents work with the team, unity, bring their ideas on board, I think we can shalvy with the Labour Party in the next election. And I know the Labourites would like to hear that, but that is what
But that's what we in politics for.
That's what we need for.
To make them look good. We want it. We want the job. We want to replace the present government.
And we're hoping that the supporters of the present team understands that too. And if they want to lend support to a new team, that will be our team. Because guys, your team can't be in forever, man. 6 elections is 3 elections too much. But you had a good run, and just move your support from the incumbent to team unity. And I think the progress that we all seek for our country will be had. We are not about trying to show anybody off, trying to do anything to hurt anybody. We just try to build Dominica on a different footing. And a number of people who support the incumbent party have told me that if something serious come about around, we will support it. And I think our thing is something serious. And with the right people involved in our team, I think we'll make headway and we can win for Dominica. And that's what it is. So we invite the people who took part as independents, and those who have won in particular, and those who didn't win, and those who are interested in politics in the future of our country, just to step forward and let's work together. One of the things, Carlos, that we suspect is that the Prime Minister didn't take us on in our call for a reduced cabinet.
No. As a matter of fact, somebody commented. I wouldn't call the person's name, but somebody commented to me that we take note of your guys' recommendations for the ministries, and I found it very interesting. I said, yes, Dominica needs to have a smaller cabinet. You don't need to have so many. It doesn't mean that you wouldn't listen to advice from outside, but But anyway, let me not go into that.
Yeah. And the cabinet that I think is now in place is twice the size of what we recommended.
Yeah, I say I will not go into that. But yes,
Yeah. And so I
we,
think
we
it's a missed opportunity on the side of the incumbent. I really thought they wanted to, bring all ideas on board, but apparently that one was not taken on board, and there must be a good reason why. But our government would be reflected this. And one of the things we would not do is to make the person who won in the Kalinago territory the minister for Kalinago affairs necessarily. I think Kalinagos are Dominicans, and the Kalinago minister could be a doctor, could be a lawyer. They can hold a different post. It shouldn't be like that. The person who won in the
they,
territory
they
is
must be
given.
they must be the person to represent Kalinagos.
No, it can be another person, and that person, if they are strong in law in whatever, could do health. Those stereotype our Kalinagos. Those stereotype our Kalinagos, yes, it would be nice that their own people as a tribe represent them, but there's a chief. So what we would do, we would make the chief a member of parliament with a minister's pay. And we would also make the member of parliament, who is already a member of parliament, a parliamentarian, who can have another ministry. So the chief would represent the Kalinago affairs in the government of Dominica. That's what we would do. But not make the person who win necessarily the chief, the Kalinago affairs minister. No. So we would pay the chief a minister's salary to work from parliament with an office in the ministry representing the Kalinago affairs. So Kalinago people will always have two people representing them in parliament. That's our call. That's why the Kalinago folks should vote for us the next time and have us give you two people in parliament receiving good money. And there are other things to be planning for the Kalinago territory as well, in terms of the placement of a Kalinago person on certain statutory organizations. But we won't say it now because we do not want anybody to take it and do it before us. But we have a lot of plans, good plans for the Kalinago territory, including having a Université de Agricole, an agriculture university in the Kalinago territory. So if the government wants to do that, go ahead and do it, thanks to us. But it is in our manifesto. Richard Carlos? Let's move to the next page. We live with our plan, with our ideas. We already give justification why we ran, even if some shout and huff and puff. We did run based on the strength of the survey that we did, people's ideas. Yes, we note that people were not very keen, but enough people responded. And if you look at the percentages of votes that we got, which was not high, but it was in keeping with what the poll said, sometimes by science is right, and you can't go against a team that's doing science and not doing science and expect to beat that team, which is what the incumbent has done very well.
Politics is a science.
Because politics is a science.
It is a science. You have to know what the people are saying.
And not a natural science, a social science. Somebody told me it was a natural science. Anyway, so we believe that our number one task is to have an urgent repair or transformation of the economy had we won.
The economy.
You said, Carl, you broke up.
Yes, I'm saying, and the Prime Minister seems to agree with us. He put a doctor to be in charge of the economy.
Really? Who is that?
That Dr. McIntyre is in charge of finance right now. I'm not sure of to certain of his expertise in that regard, but
Wait a minute. Dr. McIntyre is the finance minister in Dominica?
yes.
The Prime Minister gave that up?
Yes, he gave that up.
Or we should get ready for a by-election in Vegas, Carlos. We need to go into Vegas tomorrow. to start finalizing our candidate.
Recruiting and finalizing.
Really? He
Yes,
gave up finance?
he gave up finance.
Okay.
He's Minister of Governance and something else.
He gave up
Entrepreneurship.
housing as well?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, he's okay. So we need to go into Vickers last night then. We need to go prepare. Good stuff. Nice to know. I think he's transitioning, and that's good. It's good. So let me not say anything more. We need to talk, Carlos. We need to go into Vickers yesterday. All right. So that's our first task. And there's something else that I have seen the Honorable Prime Minister is doing too. He has been using our term. Because I've never heard him use that term. And I have studied this man for years. That's what we do. Study
You're
politicians.
talking about the differently abled?
Differently abled.
I am paying attention myself. And
Yeah.
I'd like to congratulate him for doing that and continue. We embrace the taking on of our ideas.
Terms, words are powerful. We don't think people are disabled, we think they are differently able. And we have been using that. And I hear him now for the first time ever using it. In fact, they changed the DADP to DAPD, Dominican Association of Persons with Disability. I didn't like that term, it doesn't make sense. But that's what they call it now. But we would change, or we would advise that they change it to people who are differently abled.
Differently abled.
Dominican Association of People who are differently abled. And he is using it now, and we say thank you for coming on board. I like that. So our job is about the economy, and here's the projections that we would have had in terms of youth in farming and agriculture, and we don't have to go for that. At least that has been up for a while, so Dominicans know. And we're going to post that again, Carlos, along with your message for Dominicans to see our plans had we formed the government. Oh, and again, to rebuild what Dominica is or meant to be, the foundations of our country. We would have established a number of statutory boards and commissions. So all these would be different agencies that would have been created to help to restructure Dominica's very strong foundation, which has pretty much been eroded. So the National Heroes Conference certainly would do that. How can a country which has so many heroes not have
so many?
How can we not have? I mean, Antigua has a hero thing. And when you go to St. John's, Antigua by the Market Square, you see VC Bird pose up. Viv Richards is a living hero. We have so many. Alwyn Bully, Iole Blanc.
And I don't think we should wait for many of our living heroes to pass.
I'm telling you, Gordon Henderson.
Before recognizing them.
Yeah, man. What is so wrong? What is so hard to establish this? Right now, it appears as if people who get awards are people who the party like to give awards with. It shouldn't be that, man. If you're a hero, you're a hero. If you have done it, you've done it.
And with that said, we need to be early for next year, God willing, that we make the recommendation for Mr. Edison James to receive a national award.
We were too late. We mentioned it at our press conference at Fort Young that we would be tendering documents to support former Prime Minister, beloved Dominican statesman, Edison James, to receive a national award. If Brother Austri could receive the DAH, why couldn't Brother James receive it? Dominican Award of Honor.
And congratulations to not taking it away from Brother Austri. Well, should I say uncle?
Uncle. His uncle is my partner, my friend.
Yeah, nothing taken away from him from
He
receiving his
get the
award. I'm
award.
happy, happy
He's,
for him.
he's been
I
serving the parliament for as how long the government decided to give him the Dominica Award of Honor. Fine, but our prime minister, who served for a long time, two former prime minister, I
Alex,
believe.
I remember very well when Austria started on his journey, and the deceased Alan Carbon should at that time was as strong or even stronger than how Austria was under the Freedom Party times.
Yeah, man.
And yes, he started a very long time ago,
Yeah, what I'm
and
saying
he's
is
come a
those
long way.
places, Cottage and Calibishi and people, has not always been labor, you know. These places were freedom. Freedom has turned to labor now, so it looks as if it's labor. Calibishi was well, Calibishi was labor for a little while, but Calibishi was strong freedom, 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 freedom. But before freedom was there, we had labor, so labor was the first party. Well, DUPP, but labor, well, not DUPP, labor. The labor was the first kind of a official party that came on the scene in 1955, I think. DUPP had been around as a conservative party, and freedom came. So freedom started doing what they had to do. They changed the thing when Patrick John fell. Freedom became a big thing. But it had been labor, then freedom, then is labor. Now you can go back to something else, you know. It doesn't have to remain the same way. So cottage was not always a labor stronghold. So the brother did well. We are promoting for a whole year that our team will recommend Mr. Edison Tranfield James to receive a national award. And we could not do it because when we contacted the department, our nomination would have been too late. So we are going to nominate him early. And we hope that our beloved former Prime Minister gets the national award that he deserves.
Well, I believe that he has done some good work in his stewardship as the Prime Minister of Dominica.
But we have a foundation for former prime ministers, you know.
Yes.
Every former prime minister should get an award, a high award. All.
And I congratulate the current Prime Minister for recognizing in certain respects the work of previous prime ministers and providing them with a vehicle and certain allowances that in their mind think that is due to them. But we have more what we can do.
Yeah, it should be a policy, a standard policy, which I hope it is, where not just they get that, but they get final rights as well. One of our ideas is to speak with a landowner somewhere in the Northeast for us to set up a national monument which would house the remains of our former prime ministers and dignitaries of state. So, like Arlington National Cemetery, something like that, as a sort of attraction spot, a shrine where our heads of government would be interred. Again, we can't speak too much about that, but that is one of the things that we would do or we will do when the new government is impaneled in Dominica. I think we should be part of a new government moving forward because it has to be a unity government, I think, moving forward. And we will advance that as well moving forward. All right. I see you flash something on the screen from Viva Mamo.
Yes.
Why did you? Can you read it?
Viva Mamo would like to hear from TUD candidates Jason Fontaine and Jason John Baptist and others.
Okay, that in the new year we can do that, of course. And it seems that Alex dominates the program. Oh well, Viva Mamo, well you like to take swipes at me, girl. I mean, guy. They would prefer if I had just stayed away and let the program go. When we started, they said I wanted to be prime minister. The same Viva, you know. Viva Mamo intelligence is so flawed. Although I try to help Viva and guide Viva doesn't get it. Now that they see I'm not interested, now they have something else. I'm trying to dominate. So that's the new line of attack now. I'm the developer, my brother or sister. And the development of the movement has just begun. We're not even 6 months old as yet. So I'm helping with the development. But your point is taken about wanting to see the candidates, and not just candidates, you'll see other people too, youth and others. So we have a plan. So thanks for the publicity, thanks for the question. But no, it's not about dominating. It's not about dominating for me. The last time I didn't even get involved, and you see what happened. You yourself tell me that I should. Now I'm doing. You telling me I'm trying to dominate. Make up your mind, Viva. Make up your mind. You speak to me in confidence. Tell me what I should or shouldn't do. I agree. No, I'm doing it. You're gonna tell me I dominated. Hey, Las Viva. Come on. How do I please you, no man? Hey, Las Carlos. What do you do now, Carlos?
We can move on and look at one of the comments of Brother Chris,
Yeah, bring it in.
who's recommending that we do a statue in place in honor of Patrick John and maybe a stand at Benjamin's Park or Lindo Park.
Well, Patrick John is a former prime minister, and we say all prime ministers will be so honored. And I think posthumously we should take care of our former prime minister. And we will, as a new regime, because that government, they will not last forever. And I think the new government of Dominica is not going to be a party, it's going to be a unity government. And we will be part of it. And we will submit our recommendations and we will fix it because the parties have failed us. And those who promote and support their parties are continuing the same failing legacy. And that's what it is. So that's more of the foundations that we think we would have done to help to really solidify the strength of our country. And contrary to what some think is the major issue in Dominica right now, the biggest issue,
jobs.
Exactly. The
Jobs.
biggest issue Dominicans have right now is
Jobs.
money.
I will go to anyone in Dominica during the campaign, and maybe 1 in 100 would talk about electoral reform. And I said maybe, I use it maybe loosely.
Well,
everybody is concerned about how am I going to send my child to school? How am I going to continue maintaining a roof over my head? How am I going to pay the bus to go to work? How can I get a better job?
That is the number one issue in Dominica today. I mean, most people too are aware that there is this thing called reform, electoral reform. It's a partisan kind of a banter, vexing kind of issue, which is okay and it is necessary. Not just electoral reform, but general reform in Dominica is necessary. Absolutely, and we support it 100%. We are part of the electoral reform coalition. We want to continue to work, but they didn't continue inviting us. Because why, Carlos? When you went the first time, what did they say?
Well, they didn't say much of anything.
Well, let's not disclose what was said publicly, but just confirm that what I'm saying is true. That
yes, we attended meeting with the Electoral Reform Commission, and we also met with them in the presence of the electoral observers. That is the Commonwealth observers. And we submitted to them our party's view on electoral reform, which we agree there should be electoral reform, but it should not be a thing that it's there for one party to win or for one party to lose. It just has to be done because Dominica needs electoral reform. For me to change a check in a bank or open a bank account, you're asking me for 2 forms of ID. You're asking me to prove my address, prove it's there I live in, and so on and so forth. But for me to decide who leading the country, what direction my family should be leading, how we're going to get our next meal. Somebody can just walk inside, say, yes, I am Alex Bruno, and vote as Alex Bruno. And Alex Bruno may not even be in Dominica. Alex, your name's still on the list now?
Of course. Well, my name has to be because not like I'm not abandoned or gone away for 5 years on change. I've been in Dominica, I mean, as regularly as it has been. So I'm
Okay.
qualified.
Okay. So
I did
so
not vote this
you meet the
election.
qualification.
I didn't vote this election. I didn't vote last election. I know, and I could have if I wanted to. I just let the people who, on a day-to-day, go through the grinds and the rig of our country, vote to determine who becomes. I can try to influence who you vote for, but I'm not going to go out of my way and try to come and vote. And no, it's not what I do. So, and nor am I saying that this is not right or wrong. It's whoever has the conscience can deal with that. Our view is we fully 100% support reform. It is just that those people who wanted us to say no election, no reform, we chose not to say it that way. And because of that, they excommunicated us. And I can show you text messages of that being the case.
Well, let's not go down that.
In black and white. So that should
that.
stop. The people who keep saying that we are not interested in reform should stop it, because we are 100% for not just electoral, but for general reform.
Right. I was just going to come to that direction. We need reform in our healthcare. We need reform in education,
housing,
or public service, or housing, or financial services, etc., etc. We need general reform. Electoral reform is important, yes, but we also need reforms in other areas. So let's not focus on one area and ignore all the other areas which are just as important or even more important in certain respects.
All right. So that was the number one issue: jobs, economy. Right, and there was a second issue. What is it, Carlos?
Housing was the second issue. Everybody. There are still persons who are living on the tarpaulins from since Hurricane Maria, you know. And there's a house I went to a couple days ago, and I see the guy. He told me, Carlos, I reclaim galvanized. I cover my house with, and I wouldn't go into further details about it. But a lot of Dominicans are still in need of help.
So that is Dominicans' second priority.
Housing.
Based on our research and our findings on the ground. And the third one, Carlos.
The third one being education and reform, which we touched on earlier. I don't think we need to re-emphasize that.
Exactly. Not just
it's in those order. In
yes.
that order.
We do our work, Carlos. We take our business very, very seriously. All right. So that is some people. The last time when we were speaking, they say focus on your plans. We focus on our plans. No, they tell us they want to hear from our candidates. You will hear from our candidates and the future candidates as well. You have a long time to hear us. We're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. We're going to develop.
We're going to show Dominicans. So we have to look at next election now. So.
Yeah, exactly. Past is past, man.
Yeah. Although when we formed Team Unity, we had an idea based on the direction that the government was going, that there would have been an election sometime soon. We had no confirmation of that, but we still had 2.5 years to wait before there was an election was constitutionally due.
Yeah.
So
had we had 2 years?
Oh.
Had we had even a year, Viva Mamo and these people would be well placed as media attaches to the new government. We would get people involved. Viva Mamo is a real good brain. Find out who the person is and say, look, we want you to help us with our communication. Be all inclusive. If we had a year to plan, but anyway, we have 5 years now, so let's plan.
You think so?
No, I don't think we have 5 years.
I don't think so, no? I think we have a by-election to prepare for. We're talking too much because people don't listen to our programs and then they go in, they run in and and try and implement.
Yeah, talking about that, remind us to talk about our youth initiative before we leave, Carlos. Remind me, that's a very, very important thing to talk about.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. Let's see if we can finish up the manifesto before the hour is done. We have 10 minutes to do so. That is more plans in terms of what we would have done. Then that's the team Viva Mam was asking us to have. And of course, we can have our guys come on to speak about the experiences. And again, some of the experiences that we had in the constituencies were very sour, bitter, Viva Mamu. You sure you want Jason to come and tell you about what the UWP went into Laplin and tried to do and have been saying? I don't think you want that, Viva. Be careful what you ask for. Because if we unleash Jason on that program and Jason starts speaking about his experiences, it wouldn't be pretty because your party was not very kind. In fact, your party appeared to have preferred Labour win up there, Be careful, Viva, what you ask for. Though we have recordings of my namesake, Earl Bruno, in campaign mode. Be careful, Viva. We don't like to go into old spill milk, but if that's what you want, you'll get it. You think we should bring Jason and them and let them talk about the experiences, Carlos?
I can. Let me leave that alone. My experience in the Marigot area, and then a lot would be said differently. But anyway, leave that alone.
Do we do that? I mean, should we do that? Because we can, if that's the kind of politics they want to play, we can play that.
No. Let's move forward. Brother Chris had a question regarding team unity. If we intend to have talks with regional governments or private sector in order to.
Yeah, we have been having talks. Yes, we have been holding talks, not just with governments, but with parties. Because governments do not really speak with opposition entities as such.
No, governments speak to governments.
Yeah, government and government speak, parties and parties speak. So we are speaking with parties in government. We have had at least 3 of those conversations in our little 4 months already with different parties. And we intend to speak to many parties, yes.
And Chris, yes, we have been speaking to persons in the private sector. That's why if you notice some of our posts, maybe we have one earlier yesterday or the day before, making reference to job opportunities for young persons. All these are discussions with persons in the private sector, which myself, Alex, and all the members of our team would have had. We decide to share with the general public.
In fact, in my capacity as GS, I have been meeting with business executives in Dominica. Again, Chris asked, I'm answering, and the other parties can do it too. All parties should do that. And that is
welcome, Liberator. Welcome, Liberator. Liberator just gives a shout out that he's listening.
That is a giant of a man. Love him to the bone. Very progressive Dominican. And he can consider himself part of our team because he's part of it. Everybody who's 18 and above and feel as if they have a progressive role to play, you are part of Team Unity. So Liberator, I salute you, my dear brother. Welcome. All right. So we have been meeting with executives of businesses, and there's one that I was hoping to meet with the last time I was on an island. I didn't get to speak with her. She actually called me back, and I told her what my mission was. She says, I'll be happy to meet with you when you're back. So this is the kind of feedback we've been getting from businesses and consortium. And we get ideas about the economy, about growth from them, and we implement those ideas and put them into our manifestos. So yes, Chris, we have been meeting with businesses and corporations.
And brother Chris, in terms of specific plans, we do give specific plans as well. We have plans for usage of our greatest resource, which is the water, the 365 rivers that we have flowing into the sea. We have plans for that as well.
Oh yeah.
That is why if you look in our manifesto, we speak of industry, and that would fall under that as well. I also give credit to the government for implementing the abattoir, which is a good idea, but it's just badly utilized. So all these are areas that we will look at improving the industry in the country.
and manufacturing. One of the things that we are saying we will bring back is the bottling business, the brewery. We cannot not have a national brew. Here we have a national beer, but it's not a Dominica brew. It is not our spring water in that beer. And you see the Loubier catchment area that had been devastated by Maria, by Erica.
You have to fix it.
You cannot not fix that. Make it
You have to fix it.
disaster proof, but tap that water again and have somebody invest in. If they invest in our party to get us to get into government, we will give you the strength to develop that and to make money. You cannot not have a national rule, my God.
And not just making money, employment for people.
Employment of so many people. I used to be working in the brewery.
Circulating the money in the economy.
Yeah, you cannot not have a brew. Our social life is, so we are going to do that. We are going to do that. Certainly are going to do that. Lubia spring water has not gone. We will revive it and we'll help Tapito, Water, and so on, and Josephine Gabriel coming too, because they have been around doing this, they're doing their bit.
And much credit to them for keeping the vibes alive.
The vibes
but
going.
I'm tired of seeing foreign water on our shelves. And we boast of having 360. No wonder the Jamaican blogger had to take us for easy.
We can have the local water, we can have the imported water in.
Yeah, but we cannot be
the premium water for our country should be our water.
Yes.
Trapiton is there holding on. But spring water, we are the epicenter of spring water in the world. And you can't bottle of spring water for us. If it means it's Gabriel, we have to give the assistance to do it. Let's give it to Gabriel.
Whoever.
We need to bottle, we need to have a Dominica brew.
That needs to be exported. And you know, there are places in Africa, for example, that have problems with water. If our people were able to get to export, Alex, a 40-foot container of water a month to places like that with
one 40-foot container, Carlos?
No, we have none. I have none. We have none right now.
Boy, we have so many countries in Africa that do the water. And that's what Africa, that Nagasa, Antigua, St. Martin, St. Kitts, St. Thomas, BVI.
Alex, you call Jason, man. Viva call Jason. Viva call Jason. Jason is here.
Oh my word.
Viva, you ask for Jason and Jason is here.
Okay, well, that is a twist.
Who asked for me?
Viva Mamo asked for you.
Partner, your camera is off.
Hola.
Viva, we did not plan to have Jason today. Viva. Viva Mamo boy. A girl now or a guy? Which one, Carlos?
Anyway,
somebody says a guy.
Anyway, leave that alone.
It doesn't matter who Viva is. To me, Viva is a girl, and I love Viva as a girl. Okay, a young lady, a very educated young lady too. So Viva, enough respect.
Good Goliath.
Yeah, okay. I think I can get it now.
Good. So Mr. Good Goliath, what happened? You got the message, man.
What's going on? I'm in the neck of the woods. Excuse my loud noise in the background.
Well, I know you're doing your work. I know you continue to represent us on the ground, doing your little, doing your rounds and so.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. But a contributor to the program a while ago said that we should have you and others on. We told them that we have time for that. So I guess you got the news and you came on. If you can take a couple of minutes to give us your experiences in contesting for Team Unity in Lapland, what it was like and how it turned out for you. If you have any, just share your experiences in a nutshell.
What my experiences was first time experiencing a general election. Was nothing unusual to me. It's a relaxing moment, a relaxing campaign. While it was everybody talking about how I got beat up or I got blows. And let me tell you something. I think during the campaign that the Labour Party was not comfortable and was spending a lot of money having two trucks on the East Coast, campaigning every day, interrupting our meetings. So I think the nervousness and the worrying was more of a concern on the Labour Party. They thought they would have lost, which is voices coming from their camp. We must not leave no stone unturned. So I think it is very clear. Um, I did not consider this to be a loss. This has propelled me further for the future. Um, but I got to tell them to watch themselves in the future because some people did not vote, some people voted, some people who voted for. But I think it was a good experience as a first time being a nominee on the ballot. Everybody was, questioning my qualifications or candidacy, and the prime minister made it clear to some persons that this guy in Lapin is a nominee and there's democracy. So it shut up a lot of people, all the pundits, and forget what they were doing and let's head into the election day. But to those of the viewers out there who are wondering and are bragging and thinking that the Labour Party won, the Labour Party did not win this seat. I think they won because the Labour Party alone voted. The candidates, the supporters voted. Majority of their supporters voted. So the United Workers Party came out here and campaigned against me on the ground, which causes a lot of the votes to sway into the Labour camp. But regardless, how do I feel? I feel good. Um, I feel good in going to the future. I feel good in the sense that I'm relaxed. There's a lot of disappointments already. Some persons who intended to get finance from the Labour Party regime, somebody who made promises that they would have gotten money or a better life the next day after Labour win. They are still on the same page. So a lot of disappointments. You call it the post mortem election after an election. But I think it's very good for TUD. The way forward, your recognition. I think what your audience, the audience, are they need to understand. And if those who are listening to my voice, and this is Jason Fontaine speaking, not a photocopy, that is the original. The United Workers' Party and the Dominica Freedom Party and PAPI Party is not the only voices in this country. And I think TUD has sent out a clear message. And the Dominica Freedom Party and the Dominica Workers' Party
Is
If
it
he's
me,
frozen,
Alex?
I think, yeah. Jason, I think your audio dropped a while ago. Yeah. Can you speak again?
Oh, Jason
Yeah.
audio, Jason
His
audio cut off.
your audio cut off.
The audio cut off. Not sure what happened.
But but if you are hearing Jason, this was impromptu, it wasn't planned, and you're a good spot to just jump in. So what we can do is give him his full show, as Viva Mamo asked for. His full show and give each candidate their full show. It's okay, we have no issues with that. It is just that we felt on the last program for the year, we would have gone back and deal with this on that level. But if and Viva Mamo has good suggestions, I
But
suspect.
Viva, I also presented Team Unity's Christmas message. So when you share that as well.
Yes. So I suspect Viva is interested in being part of what we do, and we must take Viva very seriously because Viva is a good talent.
Okay, you can hear me. You can hear me now.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you get what I said earlier on?
Yeah, you broke up a little while, but
In the
yeah, we
latter.
got the gist of it. Yeah.
Okay, the internet. Okay, yeah.
So,
Well, what I'm saying is that if you can hear me, let me before I start to talk. You can hear me now.
yes.
Yes.
What I can say to your viewers is this: that the to those persons out there who are thinking that the United Workers' Party is the only secondary party in Dominica to be heard, um, they got it wrong. They got it wrong. Anyone can form a party, anyone can go up, anyone can stand for country, and anyone can go and represent their country. They're from Dominica, they were born here. But this kind of mentality that the only voice there is the opposition voice, is the United Workers' Party. They are not there anymore. They're in exile for the next 5 years. So they need to think about that. They too need to do a post-mortem on their own party. But my concern is the way forward in making Dominican understand growth, development, employment, infrastructure, and making Dominica great again. And they are not the only party that can participate in bringing the contribution to the table. And I think my experience with TUD and going into this election brought all that, especially when I met the Prime Minister. And we brought more solutions to the table than arguments. Um, you know, when we spoke at that meeting at the State House. So, as you said, Alex, on your program earlier on Facebook, you're actually quietly right. Any government in power, anybody should be able to work with them or speak with them and work together, no matter what party you are belonging to get things moving in the right direction for the true betterment of your people. So, what is much better? Your people suffer, or where you can contribute something to the table, or you allow your people to continue suffering? Eventually, you'll get where you are going when you bring forth um, your agenda. But in the meantime, between time, some people have to understand that it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then we have a country to build, and that's just the way it is. Whatever way that I can contribute to the table, or ideas or bring to the, which I still serve on the village council. There's many ways, and as I go for the last general election, it has helped me grow. It has made me very more popular as well, more respected too. A lot of persons never thought I would have reached that level. From bringing from the prisons and bringing into the council, and what I went through, man, Alex, wasn't easy. A lot of kicking here and a bamboozle here, stamp on, trample on, and from where I reached, it's amazing. It was a blessing. It was a beautiful thing to serve, and I have no regrets.
All
I
right.
have no regrets.
But your work is not
That's
done,
my views.
bro. Your work is
But we are
not
not
done.
no, it's not done. We have work to do. There is work to be
Yeah.
done, and
Well, let me
work
say,
is the way forward. And we need to go forward with a lot of other things. Go ahead, Alex.
let me say that thank you for agreeing to work with us and the team. Um, we believe in giving the best of our people the best opportunities to succeed. You said it that you came from certain situations to be a national candidate for a general election, which is a great achievement. There's opportunities for people to redeem themselves, and no matter how many times we fall, we just get up and walk again. So thanks for being true to the cause, and for not being a perfect person, but for at least aiming towards perfection. And we will never shun you or anybody who believe that they have a contribution to make. So we welcome you. We embrace you as a team member. We just hope you continue to try to work hard to maintain your self-esteem and to do what you think is right and to be on the ground, Jason, to stay on the ground, be the real pal rep, still help the
Let me tell
people.
you. Let me tell you. You're looking at the caretaker. Eh?
I know you're on the ground. I know you're on the ground
you look,
working today. That's where you are.
you're looking at the caretaker for the Lapin constituency. And mark
And
my
what you
word, I
did
tell you this later.
and what you did to commend the winner is was very good, very magnanimous. You know, when you went and
Oh
shake
yes,
her hand
oh
and
yes,
wish her well, that
oh
was
yes,
really good.
oh yes. And then let me tell you something, Alex. That's the first time in. Let me tell you, we made history. That's the first time in a general election that any sitting opponent candidate of any party, Francisca Joseph didn't do it, and Ron Green did not do it. When they lost to their opponent. So, and we did this, and that's the first time. It shows a lot. It sends a lot, sends a good signal. And then they must take a page in my book. The United Workers Party must take a page in my book, and that when you see you compete or contest an election and you lose, whether you win or you lose, win or draw, or you lose, you must also accept defeat and move on, but in a humble way, not in
But
an
they
Be
didn't.
aggressive.
gracious, be
But
gracious in winning and losing.
but they couldn't do that.
Absolutely.
And remember, they didn't contest last election. We got more votes than them last election. You know that our party got more votes than
Yes,
them. So
yes,
so they didn't contest, so they couldn't have done that last election. I mean, it's so nice to know that a party that is only 3 months old has more votes on the record this election than the incumbent, well, the former incumbent opposition. I mean, that is a major achievement.
yes.
That is in the history books. It's not us
As
that tell you that you shouldn't contest. You didn't contest, so we have the votes. You don't have any. Anyway, so Jason, I know you're on the
yeah,
ground. We're going to wrap up the program,
yeah.
because we
Let me
have
leave you
been.
out because I have to run. But
Okay.
before I go, let me just say, Alex, um, good job. To my fellow colleagues, there, good job. Well done. The rest of the guys, the rest of the members, good job. Don't give up. Do not give up. And let me send this very clear. Are we streaming live, right? That
Yes.
Yes.
that Jason, it's not over for Jason Fontaine. 2027, brace yourselves. 2027, brace yourselves. And I'm there. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
All
You hear
right.
me, Alex?
I hear
I
you,
am not
sir.
going anywhere.
Just
All right.
just do your just do your best to stay on the
Enjoy,
straight and narrow and
enjoy
keep
the
your
Sunday afternoon. It's a
yeah.
beautiful day on the east coast of the island. For those of you that loves to hate me and hate to love me, I still love you. And I'm enjoying the east coast. It's a wonderful, wonderful. Today actually is my mom's birthday. She turned 70 today. So let me just
Oh
send a
wow.
shout out to Christabel Fontaine. My mom lives in St. Croix. She turned 70 years today. So today is my mom's day. So
Okay,
let's
happy
give God
birthday to
thanks for
her.
life, that she's
God's
continuing to
blessing
live
to
long.
her too.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Have a good
Alex, keep
one.
your
Have a good
smile
one,
always.
brother.
Keep your smiling, man. Keep your smile. Don't worry
Yeah,
about the
man.
pundits and everybody else. Do
Always,
what's
always, man.
flag that's next to you. See that flag that's next to you there? That's the most
Yeah.
important thing. That's what that flag.
Yeah, man. That's what we all about, the flag.
All right, my brothers. Leave you off. I'm
Yeah,
out.
cheers. Yeah. As your brother Jason. So Viva, we delivered. Well, Jason heard and Jason jumped in, and that was pretty good. Again, we are a party, we're a movement, we're a team, and we are here to be part of what it is that the people want to be part of. So thanks again to Jason on the ground working. Keep on representing the people from La Plaine, the La Plaine constituency. So Carlos, before we leave, finally, the last thing I wanted us to mention was the initiative that we spoke about 2 or 3 weeks ago that we were going to do at the end of this year, on the 30th of this
Well,
month.
not we. Well, not we. Not us are doing it.
No, no, no. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. We announced that we, as a team, were going to do a major youth initiative on December 30th. That was announced right after election. Did you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
So that was in the cards. We had also said that a director, a national youth director, well, not a national, an international youth director had been appointed, and she is working as we speak with the individuals to put together a major symposium or event in Dominica, not just for a group of young people, but for a network of youth in Dominica through the National Youth Council and international youth organizations. We said that. In fact, the youth director is in Antigua right now taking care of business. Carlos, are you aware that somebody else has jumped in and begun advertising a program or youth event for the same date?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
And this underscores the problems and the issue with our politics and the people who are the players of the politics, where we do not see the need to unite, to cooperate, to work together to achieve progress. We see, let's beat them by it. So we made a mistake to announce our date, and right after that, boom, something that was put together, I don't know how long, but it actually has been advertised and it's being held on the same day. Now, how do we now have two youth events on the same day in Dominica? Even if you did not, even if you had that date planned, but you heard us mention it, why don't you come to us and say, well, we're doing that, only doing that, how can we?
Oh, have you reached out to them?
Yes,
Oh, okay, okay.
you know me. So I did, and I said, that's a major coincidence. Let's stop. Nothing yet. So that is the problem we have in our politics. And then people are going to say that we are dividers if we come and do our thing. So we will meet as a conference and we will decide what we're going to do. But we are all committed to that thing on that day. Right now, to me, in keeping with the thrust of unity, I think it's best we go and speak about trying to accommodate them, those who are doing it. Let's again ask them so we can at least do something to help them, to promote them, whatever it is, and probably do ours another time. Because it doesn't make sense to double the effort. Again, I'm not casting aspersions and saying anybody did anything wrong. What I'm saying is, man, Dominica is a small country. We're a small society. We know what is happening. You hear an announcement, you should at least just talk, man. Hey, Alex, you say that, but I was doing that, and let's work it out. So, Carlos, I can't decide on my own, but I think we should probably try and help those who are doing it, or those who are promoting doing something, and at least offer them our support in many ways, and probably see if our director, or who is committed to be in Dominica for the 30th, if she can make alternative plans or different plans to do it. We'll see how that goes. But I really honestly think publicly we should offer our public support and endorsements to this other youth initiative. That's what I think we should do. I do not know what you think, Carlos.
Oh, once it's something progressive, I have no issues in endorsing and supporting positive engagements. So I'm assuming at the next couple of days we'll make an announcement. But for now, that's all I'll say on that.
Okay. So let's talk about it, and then we will decide, and we will offer. We'll offer to the team organizing it our full and unambiguous support. Um, in all ways, financially, technically, whatever ways we can assist them as well, if that's what we're going to do. But it is just not a nice thing when people cannot simply just work together, cooperate, and unite. And I think that's another lost opportunity. But it's the nature of the beast in Dominica, and we just have to continue being the bigger party, the bigger team, and the more magnanimous group of individuals. And that's how I would like us to end today, Carlos. I don't know whether you have anything else to add, but I think we have gone on for a little while, and probably it's time to take a break.
I just want to again thank everybody who gave support to our team, whether it be in any way, shape, or form. And we'll continue to do so as the team grows from strength to strength. And you will hear from us as time goes on. And of course, thank Brother Jason for jumping in for a short time. And assuming once we get everything in order, schedules permitting, we will have all the other candidates jump in from time to time, engage with the public, and thank the contributors who been asking questions and so on, the commenters, Brother Chris Bruguno, Liberator, Augustine St. Louis. I see we have Octave Eagle Mike Jr., and of course, Viva Mamo. Thank you for sharing our program. and your feedback.
Viva Mamu is a strength, an absolute strength. A tease sometimes, but a real strength. I do not really make reference to people personally, but I think Viva deserves the mention that we're giving to Viva on that particular program. Viva tries to maintain a sort of responsible discourse. Of course, there's certain angles that the conversation takes when Viva pitches the discussion, but it's all in good faith, I think. And Viva is not a mean person. I think Viva means well, and Viva tries to keep
I
correct.
think we all have the same objective. Some of the other opposition elements need to understand that ideas don't reside in one set of heads. And if you notice, you pay attention to what the prime minister has been doing since the election. He realized that he alone cannot do it, and he and his team, the ideas to run the country don't reside in their heads only. So from time to time they reach out, and they'll get ideas from other persons. They would even get people from other teams to come and join them.
But of course, that's how they have. That's how they continue to be strong. They get people all the time.
So opposition parties need to realize that the division is not going to help. It's not going to help.
And
It's
the
not going to
tone
help
and
the nation.
anger and enmity is not the way. You cannot have an enemy in a political opponent. You cannot.
No, you have to work with everybody. We will continue to reach out, whether or not you want to work with us or not, but we will continue to reach out.
Well, I hope they can reach out to us now because we reach out so much to that official former opposition there. I really hope somebody could call us now and we can at least have a nice conversation. I would be happy to sit down and speak to the new leader and just have a nice conversation and let's find ways to work together. That's all. I mean, I said so in my other program. I mean, that would be my dream come true. Just to be able to work, find ways of working together, agreeing to disagree. That's all. Why so hard? Why is this so hard, Carlos?
Anyways, we've long expired our time.
Okay. Well, it was nice sharing the platform. At least we dealt with some of our plans, and we will continue to do so in the new year. Unleash our plans, continue to build the bonds of unity, and to plan to change the status quo in the next election and to seek towards progress, not to break anybody down, but to build our country up. So, Carlos, thanks, and let's do it again live. Probably can invite Viva Maman to join us on the next program. Probably I'll take a break and Viva comes on.
Viva host for us? You think so?
I Viva would for us.
Host.
I think Viva could host, yeah. And I think if Viva was in Dominica, which I assume Viva wasn't, I think we might have gotten Viva's vote. Yeah. So
good afternoon, everybody.